Talking to the best players, let's go to the Champions League, Andy Brassel. Because Champions League was on Thursday night, just last night. 3 nights of the bloody thing.
What do you think about it? Thursday night Champions League. It feels naughty.
It feels early.
Feels naughty.
It feels like we're opening our presents a little bit too early, but I'm enjoying the general chaotic vibe of the whole thing.
Did it make you feel naughty, like when you put on Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain?
Right, and go,
Let's go, Atalanta.
It was a bit of that. I think especially because you had 2 such good early games. And normally the early games aren't the best ones.
Yeah, true.
Are they?
It's always West Ham playing someone at 5:30 going, I'm not even had my spaghetti.
Exactly. But you could be sat there, with your fish fingers and chips and beans on your
spaghetti.
lap. And spaghetti.
You're forgetting to mention the word hoops after that.
Spaghetti hoops.
Spaghetti hoops, yeah. Sorry,
watching Feyenoord versus Leverkusen. I don't know if you saw that no-look pass, which was
fucking amazing.
Beauty.
By Victor Boniface. You know what it reminded me of? There used to be this guy, he's not around anymore, sadly, on the internet, I don't think, and certainly not in this part of the internet. But every time, when a club does a tweet announcing a goal, it goes, 1-0 for the lads! George Frankham's put it in the net. Every time Wimbledon did one of those, the guy who replied first, every single time for like 2 years, was this guy who wrote in block capitals, I am wanking. with a little splash emoji next to it. No. It's fucking brilliant. You get an equaliser against Rochdale and you get that. Wow. But he's not doing
What a sex life that man must have.
I know.
I want you back, mate. I want you back.
Oh dear, I can't perform until they score.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I know we're talking about, probably going to start talking about Arsenal in a minute, but it was an incredible night or/slash early evening at the Tub, where Feyenoord play.
Well, Bayer Leverkusen won 4-0.
They did.
And if you were late, if you were finishing your spaghetti hoops and thought, I'll get the second half, it was done. It was all done. Four goals in the first half.
They wrapped their hand in the second half.
You see, that's why I said, Andy,
I'm tanking.
You should have had them as your dark horses for the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you picked Turkey again, didn't you?
You've made your decision, and you went for all the Turkish teams.
You never pick up my Wednesday night calls before OTC anymore.
I do not.
But Leverkusen were brilliant, by the way, and Feyenoord were god awful.
Well, Feyenoord though, I mean, they looked all right in the early stages. They were just left the back door open.
Yeah,
which is a problem, I suppose, when you're playing a good side.
But don't you think that's been a thing in the Champions League this week? It's had quite a lot of FA Cup third round energy to it, in that you've had like big teams being really inconvenienced by inferior opposition for long periods, and then they just get picked off. Like Dortmund did that, Bayern did that, Leverkusen have now done that. All the German teams really.
But it was a 0-0 between Atalanta and Arsenal.
Thanks to David Raya.
David Raya.
My goodness me.
He loves a double save.
Yeah.
I mean, that was sensational stuff. Obviously, any penalty save is good. He went the right way. And then to recover, I mean, yes, of course, if the striker puts that into the corner, it'll be a goal. But he didn't.
I found the whole conversation around it quite interesting because I took the time to listen back to some of the different commentaries on the different platforms. And I think it was someone on our Ramble WhatsApp group was talking about McManaman saying that, like, he's basically treating it as a terrible miss by Retegui.
He said it was a pathetic header,
which is absolutely ridiculous when you watch it back, because the way the ball pops up and spins, Retegui's got to do an awful lot of his neck muscles to get that down.
He's got to contort his whole body.
Exactly.
He's got to follow it in, almost anticipating the miss. He's done well to get it on target, I think.
I think that's a bit too far. I think, look, he should have scored. I mean, there's no two ways about it, chaps. That doesn't take anything away from the goalkeeper. In the same way, a penalty, a one-on-one is in favour of the... Exactly, both things are in favour of the attacker. So if a goalkeeper saves it, then you give them credit, but you can also say he should have scored. And the fact of the matter is, we should concentrate more on David Raya, because he won that little duel. It was a sensational save.
And it looks absolutely badass to spend the VAR check time going over to your goalkeeping coach, listening like a robot. Like when Neo in The Matrix gets all that information plugged into him, then run back over and do that.
That's why Ramsdale wasn't there, isn't it? You know what I mean? He'd spend the time like just giving 2 fingers to the crowd.
Leave Ramsdale alone.
I'm just saying that's why Raya got his, because he's a weird pervert like his manager.
It's a great experience for Ramsdale, himself because he's probably watched that game and he's probably gone, fair enough. I could not do that. No.
So the shot of the second save, I think, he's in that same position that, the famous crouchy bicycle kick meme that goes around. He's in the same kind of like leg forward, arm outstretched, and it's iconic how long he looks.
It looks less awkward though when he's doing it.
It does look, it looks necessary.
Yeah. As your friend of mine, Dominic Diamond, once said, Peter Crouch trying the type of move that should only be attempted by a professional. He did score a fine bicycle in his time, though.
Given the fact that the game ended 0-0 and it was potentially difficult place for Arsenal to go to. Atalanta, of course, have been brilliant in European football in recent years.
Europa League champions,
exactly. It was an incredible contribution by Raya because it really nailed them a point, essentially, which could be vital.
Yeah, I mean, look, Atalanta, I thought were the better team in the second half. And
they were.
I had a right old go at them, which honestly I wasn't expecting because Atalanta have had a lot of changes this summer. But I think this is Arsenal in a nutshell, and this is why Arsenal are competitive in a nutshell. In the previous incarnations of Arsenal, maybe even the year before last, the season before last, would lose this game. I think it's pretty fair to say. But just to batten down the hatches and make sure you get a point out of a game like that you don't play that well in is really important.
And also, Andy, lovely to see Juan Cuadrado on the pitch.
Oh, yeah.
I was well surprised when he came on.
Lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great bonus.
But he's not ageing at all, is he?
No.
He still looks great.
Yeah,
he looks absolutely great.
He's still nippy. He's a bit like Willian in that sort of. He's still got that change of pace and goal threat and so on.
Yeah.
Sterling making history as playing for 4 different English Champions League clubs.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Lovely testament to that man's amazing career.
Indeed, Peter, a worthy mention, certainly. Elsewhere in the Champions League, Monaco, or some people call them Monaco. I don't know if that's still a thing or not.
Do they? Right. Why do they do that?
Older people sometimes call them Monaco.
Monaco?
Yeah. You never heard that before?
No. I've never heard it.
It's very strange. Very strange, yeah.
Sounds it.
But anyway, we'll go with Monaco, if you like. They beat Barcelona 2-1. Andy and young George got the winner.
Elaine Lekena. Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Sorry, I was just waiting for the
waiting for the second name, but
Big Georgie I.
Yeah, I wanted to give you the credit.
Yeah, he had a lot to do with the ball, didn't he?
Yes.
Andy there.
So much like George.
Yeah.
It was the sending off for Barcelona. I'm sorry, I have to mention this. What was ter Stegen doing? Passing the ball out like that.
I know. The thing is, people will look at that having not seen the game. Go, Eric Garcia, red card. Here we go. But it's not really
the referee should have said, look, Eric, I'm going to give this to your goalkeeper, all right? It's entirely his fault that you've been sent off there. It's ridiculous. He had 2 players wide. Oh, madness.
I still, that's all accepted.
Yeah.
But he still did do what he did.
I think. Well, he did, but I don't think he even meant to. I think he was just so flustered. He's like,
but if this is a criminal case,
I'm flustered.
We could accept ter Stegen.
He suddenly became Harold Bishop.
Ter Stegen can be an accessory conspiracy.
To give him the booking as well.
Yeah, but Garcia.
It's a crime of passion.
Yeah.
Garcia's like Frank Spencer rather than Michael Myers in this situation, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Myers is a bit like Frank Spencer. I mean, not the most Frank Spencer the most Frank Spencer of all the 90s horror movie serial killers is definitely the ghost face from Scream.
Yes,
but Mike Myers does make the odd mistake.
Ooh, killing!
It's not efficient. It's not efficient killing generally.
No,
right.
He leaves a lot of survivors.
He gives the room. Gives him the room.
I see. Barcelona still owe money to Quique Setien, by the way. I just want to bring that to the table.
Is it easier just to list the things people that Barcelona don't owe money to?
Yeah, I think they owe me a £5. 4 years ago, he finished with them, but they still owe him money. He's receiving his final payment later this month.
Oh,
how about that?
Little treat.
Yeah.
Hey.
He got his timesheet in, did he?
That must be amazing, like getting that sort of notification of Chaps transfer, and the man go, I'd actually forgotten I'd even worked for them.
Said like a true freelancer.
Very true.
I thought like managers, they kind of forfeited the right to get these payments when they took another job. Because he was at Villarreal for a while after that.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the
deal.
the terms, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly, Barcelona
that's normally the case.
Surprisingly, it sounds like Barcelona haven't done a good financial deal. So
how unusual.
But not paying people, it's a new thing, isn't it? Like, they used to pay their bills, the old football teams, when it comes to people who work for them.
Well, now PSG are leading the way. They simply forgot to pay Kylian Mbappe 55 million euros.
And then said he was going to ruin the club if they making me pay. It's like, it's mad.
Silly sods. Yeah. Oh dear. Back to the Premier League, where there are no financial naughtiness is going on.
No way.
Man City host Arsenal on Sunday at 4:30. Mikel Arteta confirmed this week that Arsenal will be without Martin Odegaard for a while. Big miss, Luke Moore. Big miss.
He is a big miss. He's a great player. And Arsenal have probably been a little bit unlucky with availability in the early stages of the season. I say unlucky. I mean, Declan Rice's one was his own fault, really. But the fact that Arsenal went to Spurs and still won, and it was kind of men against boys with the players they had missing, was pretty impressive. I actually thought, not to go back to the game last night, I know he came off the bench, but I thought in that type of game against Atalanta, Jorginho probably, given the amount of games they've got and they go to Man City, I was surprised Jorginho didn't start the game last night. It gives you a bit of control.
Yes.
The way Atalanta play under Gasperini, I feel like it's almost tailor-made for Jorginho to keep the ball for them a bit better.
Is this not an expression that he'll be more valuable for the Manchester City game?
Possibly, Andy.
Well, this is exactly what my point was going to be. Maybe because of the fact that Odegaard's not around and have to shuffle it a bit, that Jorginho might come in for this. But Odegaard's a big miss. He's a great player. And he's been really important to them, obviously.
Kevin De Bruyne is set to miss the game as well, coming off injured in midweek.
Less important, you'd imagine.
Yeah. Maybe they could do an arm wrestle.
What
Odegaard and De Bruyne. Just as a little side, like warm up.
And you get a free throw in.
But the players, the fans have come to watch the best players, so they turn up and do something.
Oh, I thought you were suggesting he would arm wrestle with the fans. Like, I remember when Emil Smith-Rowe was on loan at Leipzig, he was playing table football against fans.
Was he?
At the side of the pitch.
How did he get on? At the side of the pitch?
Yeah.
He'd bring it on himself.
Because it was weird, because he was dressed like a sub, wearing one of those massive coats. It was February and absolutely freezing. And I was like, oh, yeah, they've got, because he was like 19 at the time. I was like, oh, yeah, they've got one of the youth team like on there. And I was like, oh, bloody hell, that's Emil Smith-Rowe.
It's very strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Next time we go into Fulham, could have a game.
I'd rather him start. But, when he stubs off, maybe there's something to do there.
So Peter, Kevin De Bruyne missing the Man City game, you don't think it's as big a deal? I think it's a massive deal, isn't it?
You think?
He's one of their most important players.
I think they've got coverage, surely.
But
Odegaard,
you're talking about one of the best midfield players in Premier League history, though.
Fine, but he was about to go to Saudi about 5 minutes ago, and Man City probably would have weathered that particular storm. No?
Yeah, I agree with Pete. I agree with Pete that Odegaard is a bigger miss for Arsenal than De Bruyne is for Man City.
Pete makes a good point in that City are able
never get tied in that.
City are able to ride out the loss of players that you don't think they'll be able to lose.
Yes.
And I think, I suppose the real...
And invite them back a season later.
Yeah, the real bonus is Gundogan coming back, isn't it?
It is.
I love that.
As long as he doesn't head the ball.
As long as he doesn't head it, yeah.
Yeah, but presumably Arsenal will want Man City to wear their new Oasis-style kit on Sunday.
I don't mind the kit, it's the lettering I just cannot
I said the
fathom.
same.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Absolutely stupid.
Manuel Akanji at one moment during their match against Inter looked like he was going to pass the ball to the assistant referee.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, it was very strange. And he said he got confused with the kit. He said he was quick to say, "Oh no, I like the kit, but I did think the referee's assistant was wearing it at one point."
Why weren't the linesmen? It's red. Why don't they just wear red?
I don't know.
They can
a bit
wear
communist,
red,
I suppose. It upsets some people.
It just reminded me of Renato Sanchez at Chelsea away that time for Swansea.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Paul Clement was fucking hell, Renato.
That's where he just passes it into the advertising board, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, that was particularly strange.
Yeah.
At least Akanji's notified. He's identified a human being.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea.
He thought it was
the Predator.
He said he thought it was Bernardo Silva, didn't he?
Yeah, I really like the idea.
50.
I really like the idea of the authorities looking down the Man City game, looking at the assistant referee wearing a Man City shirt and going, right, 131 charges. Because that is a fucking piss take. I'd like to see you obfuscate that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a thing, Marcus, that, like you said, he was very careful to sort of back out of it. Because it's not like Man United away at Southampton.
I can't
say, after the whole, publicity bang with Noel Gallagher designed it and all the rest of it, they can't really go, we'll consign that to the dustbin of history.
I don't normally like agreeing with Richard Keys, but Richard Keys has waxed lyrical, basically saying that Noel Gallagher should stick to music, but I will see you at Wembley. He's going to Wembley to watch Oasis.
That makes me feel better.
Really?
I am broadly in favour of the. I find it tedious when Noel Gallagher endlessly talks about Man City, but in terms of a broad point,
Right.
I don't mind the idea of someone doing that, but I feel like there needs to be a graphic designer kind of overseeing.
I'm sure there was.
This doesn't work.
Well,
just
look at it again.
Just for accessibility reasons.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
There is a weird thing about Noel Gallagher thinking, yeah, I'm Bad Bunny, I'm Kanye, I can do this.
Yeah, he's got a new trainer coming out. Oh, it's an Adidas Samba. You know what I mean?
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Where can you get it?
You're wearing them, mate.
Well, you mentioned Declan Rice earlier. The audio of his sending off was released on Tuesday's episode of Mic'd Up with Howard Webb and Michael Owen. Chris Kavanagh apparently said, "I don't like it, but he's knocked the ball. He's put me in an awful position. Deck, you need to go, I'm afraid."
I like that.
So that's the kind of thing
Very informal.
It's the kind of thing Ant would say early in the morning.
Yeah, I like. I like the human side of it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Okay, well done for making an Ant and Deck joke, Marcus.
I just thought it'd gone under the radar.
Yeah, I got it.
Right.
I got
Are they
it.
still working?
Yeah. Ant and
Of
Deck.
course they are. Always working. Always working.
I like the informality of it. I also really would love to stick my tinfoil hat on just for a second.
Okay.
And
You
say,
do that, I hear you say that quite a lot these days.
Just wear it all the time. Just tell us when you're taking it
It's
off.
a bit like when Pete said, "I hate to agree with Richard Keys." Again, he says it all the time now.
I like when you make a fucking Ant and Deck joke. It's happening all the time.
Hey.
You're being true transparent. You're not going to get the I'm a Celebrity gig, mate. You need a partner.
I do.
Who would your partner be?
Yeah.
Oh.
Richard Keys. There we go. We've done it.
No, it's fair to say he has a partner because he got married recently. Congratulations, Richard.
Yeah, seriously, congratulations.
Congratulations, Richard.
Yeah, you're key to great nuptials.
Exactly. Yeah. She'll keep you young.
Richard, I'm not going to say that.
Save it for the stage later.
I would like to say that the tinfoil hat part of what I'm about to say is just that this show, mic'd up with Michael Owen and Howard Webb, it seems to come up so infrequently. It's almost like they're dusting these kind of controversial things under the carpet in a way that is so late on that no one's going to pick up on it.
Do you feel like it's a bit like, you remember the late Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez?
Yeah.
And he had his Suddenly Chavez radio show. You'd hear a harp and suddenly he would just do like a 9-hour broadcast.
Yeah.
And you just never knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's a bit like that?
It's similar, yeah. Michael Owen very similar to Hugo Chavez. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, and then when I watch Mic'd Up with Michael Owen, it does feel like 9 hours. So the similarities will never end.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it would come out more promptly if it was, mic'd up with Luke Moore and Matt Letizia, obviously.
But I tell you what, I'll do one of them. I'll do one of them with Matt for sure. Yeah, he wouldn't want to do it with me. I think he's blocked me on Twitter.
Has he?
But yeah, but
that's a shame.
I'd be up for it if you're listening, Matt.
Oh, fair
He's
enough.
not listening.
Well, the fact
He's
is,
only listening to the voices inside his head.
Chris Kavanagh said, he said, Declan Rice, he's put me in an awful position.
Yeah.
Deck, you need to go, I'm afraid. And that was it, really. I kind of agree with that. I think that Rice was so silly.
But do we not think, we don't need to rehash that because it was ages ago, as I've said, Marcus, but do you not think it needs to be quicker?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it needs to
That audio, that footage
that
is
story
there.
feels like a Monday story from the Saturday game or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You do it a month later or 2 or 3 weeks later, it just feels cynical to me.
Maybe there's, those rules in government where it's like, is it 25 years or 50 years where you can only
Yeah,
upload?
it's like
It's Freedom of Information Act.
it's like there's a Zapruder footage.
Yeah, this is the Premier League. You could have 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, no, 25 years they'd be up for.
The ball didn't cross the line. Oh, well, it's still gleaming.
Yeah.
Now, Arsenal's former head of methodology has revealed that Arteta, Mikel, had lots of specific words he'd use in his coaching. One of them was collaboration, meaning collaboration and competition every day.
I hate it. I absolutely hate
it. He's doing portmanteaus, isn't he? That kind of thing.
And we do not stand for portmanteaus on this show.
We did a while ago.
But I just cannot. We will look back at Arteta's reign of inspirational terror over this Arsenal side and just sort of go, this wasn't good enough.
But the heart and the brain holding hands. That was when
There's a really good.
it was like, oh, this is brilliant and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, no, it is, and I think from a distance you can enjoy it, and you can enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
But I think there's a really
behind
simple,
bulletproof glass you can enjoy it.
There's a really simple litmus test you can do for all this Arteta stuff, and anyone listening at home can do it as well. When you hear something that Arteta's said or reported to have said, ask yourself the simple question: would Jake Humphrey like this?
Yes.
And if the answer is yes, it's probably bullshit.
Is it rhyming?
Yeah. Well, no,
Is it
one
a
of them.
portmanteau?
So collaboration, whatever it fucking was.
Yeah.
There's another one which is basics. Apparently,
Right,
he had painted on the side of the wall, one of the walls in the training ground, basics, and it was like an acrostic poem, and it was boxes, attack, shape, intensity, compete, set pieces. I'm saying that's the kind of stuff he's doing. It's like live, laugh, love, but football.
Bow body.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the first thing that this made me think of was Ian Dowie. Really,
Martin Keown thought it was a
probably
Banksy.
not what he's going for.
Right, okay. Why did it make you think of Ian Dowie?
Well, that's the sort of thing that he would.
I don't know.
Right, okay.
Well, because he obviously was a manager for a bit in Dow. I don't remember. Wouldn't know all that.
Control the controllables and all that sort of stuff.
Bounce back ability.
Yeah,
Bounce back ability.
Yeah, but that's just like the kind of thing he would probably say in post-match, right?
Yeah.
This is a way different level.
Does every club have a head of methodology?
You think that Arteta's at least
like a Wu-Tang Clan member.
Arteta's got the self-awareness to do it behind closed doors?
Yeah.
No,
but
I
it
think
leaks out, though, doesn't it?
But Ian
all the
Dowie,
inspiration, there's so much inspiration in that room, it just bursts out.
Yeah, probably.
But Ian
Like a
Dowie's
flood.
just getting in the slipstream of all those other managers who come out with this kind of stuff. Whereas Arteta, this is it.
No, you see, I think he's ahead of the curve. I think you're underestimating how long it is since Ian Dowie has become a head coach. Has been a head coach.
Fair. I can't believe we're still talking about Ian Dowie. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, it's only me.
But
You just draw the curtain on me if you want.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, Ian Dowie aside, Arsenal do have a very, very important trip to Manchester on Sunday. And of course, Man City failed to score in both their league fixtures against Arsenal last season. What do we think?
That's remarkable when you say it out loud, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And you think only now are people coming to the sort of global realisation that it's one of the truths of the Premier League that Arsenal are the best defensive team in it.
I think they're the best. I think they're the best team in it defensively. I think they've got the best goalkeeper. Based on what has been happening recently, they looked really, really good against Spurs. Perhaps they didn't need to be that good to get past Spurs, but they nonetheless they were good. If Arsenal want to achieve what they're setting out to achieve and go that one extra step, if you look at last season, they lost one game, I think, from the middle to the end of January for the rest of the season, and that was at home to Aston Villa. That kind of
that was such a crucial one.
Yeah, and it still wasn't good enough, right? And so they need to, really. It could just come down to besting Manchester City in these two games against them. I mean, it could come down to being that close. They beat them 1-0 last season, drew 0-0 with them away last season, didn't they?
I expect a similar performance.
Yeah, could be.
Especially with that Odegaard, I think that we're going to see Arsenal much more like they were against Spurs, which I think is probably a wise thing to do because I think they would take a point.
If
you offered them a point now, I think they'd probably take it. Which I don't think is defeatist at all.
No, I agree.
The thing about them is if you look at I think that's fair enough. If you look at really the only goal they've conceded this season entirely, Arsenal, came after they went down to 10 against Brighton. That's the only goal.
Yeah.
So defensively, they've been fucking amazing. I know it's early in the season still, but they've been really good. And I honestly felt like, and this may say more about Spurs than it does about Arsenal, I honestly felt like Tottenham could still be playing now and still never score. I mean, they were just eating it up. Their back four is so good, Arsenal, and then the keeper's brilliant as well. So it will become incumbent upon Man City to try and break them down in some way. It's very early to say, and who knows how the game's going to go. It's a Sunday afternoon treat, of course, for all of us when we're sitting there nodding off on the sofa. But if Arsenal do the double over Man City this season, for example, and go and win the Premier League, you could be saying Sunday afternoon is the time when the baton was kind of passed over, and that's without even thinking about what could happen to Man City later in the season because of all this other off-pitch stuff. So it is really important. It's a massive game. It's the biggest game of the Premier League season so far.
So for that reason, would you say it's bigger for Manchester City than it is for Arsenal?
I think it's massive for both of them.
Yeah,
massive for both of them.
Yeah.
Arsenal are going to need that 30-point lead so that they have a 60-point lead once the deductions have taken place.
Yeah. And that's if Man City are lucky.
And then they'll take it to the last day of the season.
Then Sky Sports cameras will be at both grounds.
Yeah. Man City are still the Premier League champions and still the best team in the league.
Yeah.
But it's a chance for Arsenal, though, and it is without a doubt the thigh rubber of the weekend.
I'd say so.
All right, coming up after the break, we've got Fulham versus Newcastle and a little chat about Anthony Gordon's car. Southampton Southampton against Ipswich, a chance for Russell Martin to turn it round. And a little mention for Cagliari's mascot. I'll see you in a moment.
And to everybody here, once again, thank you so much for the opportunity. And it's a true honor to be able to bring out the one and the only John Bon Jovi to be able to do.
Oh, welcome back to the Football Ramble, everybody. That was Pitbull.
Hero John Bon Jovi as well.
Pitbull bringing John Bon Jovi on the stage.
I had no idea Pitbull sounded like that. I've never heard him speak before.
Have you not?
No.
I had no idea Marcus had started producing the show.
It's all your dreams coming at once, isn't it?
Yeah, bring on Liam Gallagher and you've got a full house.
Yeah, I could see you forming a brand new Beatles, Pitbull, John Bon Jovi, Liam Gallagher and your good self.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, you're probably on drums.
I'm just watching.
You're Ringo.
Do you remember when Oasis played sometime on one of their early tours before Definitely Maybe came out, and they had a power cut, and Liam sung and Bonehead was on the spoons.
Is that right?
Wow, there you go.
Where did they get spoons from?
And that's where Soundgarden's Spoon Man song comes from. They wrote it about Bonehead.
Probably.
Yeah.
I did quite enjoy that story with apparently Liam Gallagher got hold of John Bon Jovi's mobile number and was ringing him and calling him Lionhead and your music's crap and all this. Oh dear!
It was worse than
like
that,
Liam.
wasn't it?
I'll give you $5,000 to just sod off.
It was worse than that. It was at one point John Bon Jovi offered him $500,000 to stop ringing them, and Liam Gallagher called him again straight away and told him to eat shit.
Just get a new number. Surely.
Celebrities
change their numbers all the time.
Surely.
You think so?
You know,
so.
Peter.
know, right?
Okay, Peter. Tomorrow, Fulham versus Newcastle United at 3 p.m.
Come on!
Newcastle. They've snuck up to third in the Premier League.
Yeah, when that happened the weekend, I was like, what? What's happened there?
They're on the same points as us, and they're 2 off Man City. All this chat about those two. Could it be? Could it be Newcastle United's year? Could they do it for the Piff Posse?
No, because I watched the games. No, that can't happen.
Yeah, but they've got Harvey Barnes.
They have got Harvey Barnes. Don't they?
Do you think they've? So I think my feeling is Newcastle have crept up to where they've crept up to, partly because obviously it's early in the season, but also because there's so many big stories around the Premier League at the moment, and there has been in the start of the season. So we've had the Euros where a lot of it's been about England. Newcastle then, apart from the Mark Gahey saga, which didn't happen, they've not really been in the headlines that much when compared to a year or two before when all this kind of takeover thing happened.
It's mainly been about Eddie Howe being unhappy, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And then a lot of the attention has been taken by things like Man City and all the shit's happening with them. Arsenal get a lot of headlines. Liverpool have got a new manager, etc., etc. There's a lot of stories elsewhere that I think Newcastle have been able to kind of disappear under the radar of. So, I think if it gets to 10, 11, 12 games and they're still right up there, that will be of interest. But I think at the moment it's just, it's early.
But I do think the focus has been on the wrong place with Newcastle, because so many people who want it to fall to bits, if we're being perfectly honest, post the Gay thing, have been pumping up this supposed fracture between Paul Mitchell, who, remember, only got there halfway through the transfer window, and Eddie Howe. Now, Eddie Howe is not the first coach to say, well, I didn't get all the players I wanted.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they leave immediately. And what we've seen, especially with the lack of players that have come in, we've been reminded about what Eddie Howe does so well. Coaches the arse off players and makes them way better. If you look at Harvey Barnes now, I know he had injuries last season, but look at him now and the way that he's managing to effectively integrate Gordon and Barnes into the same team. Now, it's still a work in progress, but that doesn't really look like something that didn't look like something that was actually possible, did it, Pete?
No, and I think the way that I think physically a lot of the players have got a bit more robust as well. Do you not think they've sort of spent a lot of time on their conditioning? Obviously, players who didn't play in the close season at international tournaments and stuff, they just look a bit fitter and they look a bit bigger. And they look a bit more robust.
Did he play Gordon central then when Barnes came on against Wolves?
That's what they tend to do. They tend to put Gordon into a sort of, I guess you could call it like second striker or number 10 sort of role. Ultimately, I'm not sure that's really the best spot for him. I think also in a medium term, they probably need to be prepared to sell Gordon. I think to me that feels quite likely. But look, I don't know. I think they made a mess of the whole Mark Gay thing. But even if you take that away, they've got a good squad of players they've bought and players that Eddie Howe has improved beyond recognition, and that is why they're able to win games that they've been second best in for large parts.
Yeah, and Barnes' goal against Wolves on the weekend was an absolute beauty.
Oh, unreal.
Great.
Absolutely.
He looked really lively.
He did, and a great player to bring on as well, to stretch defences, to do things like that, so they do have a bit of strength and depth in there. Anthony Gordon was spotted leaving the training ground yesterday in a very, very big Hummer.
Even for Hummers, it was a very, very big Hummer.
Apparently it's an electric one as well.
Absolutely. It was a bloody armoured tank. It was like, that's the kind of thing you see the US military driving around the Middle East in. Do you know what I mean? Well, no one's getting through this.
It did look like an ISIS Toyota, didn't it? If it had a mounted gun on the back, I would have taken that.
Imagine that.
Anthony Gordon's been radicalised.
Mounted gun on the back with Keegan with a fucking headband on.
Why is Keegan getting a mention?
Just because he'll probably shoot himself in the foot.
Do you think maybe...
No, Alan Shearer and the aforementioned Ian Dowie next to him.
Yeah, there you're talking.
I mean, it could be the fact that they're redeveloping the training ground and maybe you can actually fit a larger car through the entrance of the training.
Well, either that or they've churned up the entrance so much that's the only way you can get in.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm a small man who drives a big car, but with him, he's even thinner and smaller than I am, I would say.
If he saw your car, it'd be like a monster truck. It would just go over
the footage we've seen, which, let's be honest, is quite intrusive.
Yeah.
If it was...
He was coming out of the Newcastle United training ground.
If it were to be, I think if you've got to blank out a number plate, it would be an intrusive.
You need to reassess what you're doing.
I think if you
why do they blank out the number plate? Because it's not identifiable, is it?
I think it is. Because it'll be personalised, won't it?
Yeah, but I mean, what do you mean?
Even if it wasn't, you can't do it. You can't do it.
Stop defending the sun.
I just don't know why. I just don't know why we worry about reg plates. It's a bit of a bugbear of mine.
Is it?
It's not identifiable in America. Yeah, fine. That's why the boss of Apple used to buy a new car every 6 months, because you can drive without a number plate.
This story again. He's always talking about that.
I didn't know that story.
Yeah, there you go.
And I don't know
Consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
Come to the Palladium tonight.
I've got into cars recently, guys. Have you noticed?
Come to the fucking Palladium tonight.
Yeah. People drive his car on stage.
I just think it would have looked even bigger if you actually seen Anthony Gordon clamber his way up into it.
That's what I mean. That's the funny thing.
It would have been like watching Ratatouille climb up a little ladder in the kitchen. Yes, I know the rat's not actually called Ratatouille. But what about this story, Mark? Because the reason I'm bringing this up because I immediately thought of Pete when I read it about this about these Fire Stick users.
Yeah, so the dodgy Fire Stick users have been warned about hackers, haven't they?
They have.
Now, what do you think about this, Peter?
Well,
you
you have seen before every sort of weekend of Premier League football. These planted stories have arrived in every newspaper, and every newspaper take the bait / possibly investment by a safe streaming initiative, Be Streamwise. Now, it's just good that a non-profit is looking after the safety, internet cybersecurity of the nations. Oh, they're funded by the Premier League and Sky and also, and also Disney and other people and stuff like that. So it's almost as if they have an investment.
It's for your benefit, dear reader. It's for your benefit.
I mean, they make a very big point that we've got some internet safety people who say that these Fire Sticks are compromised. I mean, they could be, but I mean, chances are they're not, though.
It's interesting that they've had a sort of not entirely dissimilar discussion in France where it took ages for them to piece together a really low-paying domestic TV deal for this season. They didn't have a domestic TV deal less than a month before the start of the season.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And when Vincent Lebrun, who used to be president of Marseille, who's now the president of the league, when he got re-elected, quite controversially, the first thing he said is... I'm going to crack down on piracy. That's my big priority. And fortunately, everyone in France who watches football was smart enough to say, well, maybe reduce the prices of our absolutely extortionate
That's the
offerings.
Story. The story here is partly what Pete says, but it's also, I think, that clearly, if the market was working properly, we weren't living through this world of just ridiculous, rapacious capitalism on the backs of hard-working people and people getting super rich. What should be happening is it should be out to tender. The competition should force the prices down, and people wouldn't need to have to do this kind of stuff. The problem is football fans, because they're, in my view, and I include myself in this, absolute mugs at every single term will just pay. It's not surprising this kind of stuff happens. Yeah. No, but I'm also not surprised that Sky and the broadcast and everyone are doing their...
Oh, they had that.
Stop it.
I mean, most TV people will have lost money on this deal, so they have to be seen to be doing something with their shareholders, I suppose. But it does come off as that kind of you wouldn't steal a car, don't copy that floppy. All of the really fucking lame initiatives. That
the American one was mad. You wouldn't steal a car because it made stealing a car look really cool, which is a massive own goal. Yeah. Can I just say, Marcus, for the record, and I'm sure you're with me on this, I do pay for Sky Sports and TNT
and all
the others as a good lap lapdog customer that they want.
But I will watch the 3 p.m s illegally.
Yeah. I steal it all.
Do you?
Yeah. I turn up with my own camera at the side of the pitch.
Massive 90s JVC one.
Yeah. And I watch the game through there.
Yeah.
And every now and then I stop looking down the camera and I go, oh, it's bigger when you do
I like the idea of you having your own TV channel. Do you remember when the broadcast feed went down at a Norwegian League game about a year and a half ago, and one of the journalists was literally streaming it through his phone?
Oh, nice. There used to be when Newcastle were in the Championship. There's a guy on one of those kind of sub streaming sites would just have a camera, and he had like 20,000 people watching this feed on Periscope. That's what it was.
Periscope. God rest it.
God rest it.
Still going? It's not going.
Sounds like it's been. It's like Justin TV became Twitch or something.
Yeah. I'm still paying for Satanta. Tomorrow, Southampton versus Ipswich Town. It's been a tough start.
No one will be bothering to stream this one.
It's been a tough start for Saints, hasn't it, Luke? And Russell Martin. But only Southampton and Everton haven't picked up a single point yet. Ipswich, of course, have.
Everton are looking at that thinking, how have we managed to squirrel our way into that sentence?
I know.
For those of you who didn't pick up on that, Marcus did his eyebrow and called Southampton Saints on purpose.
That's their nickname.
Trying to get me to respond. And my position...
And I've obviously failed.
While I totally concede I'm undermining myself even by making this point, my stated position for you all and for the listeners at home or wherever they are listening is that I will start acknowledging the nickname Saints the very day Andy Brassel says Milton Keynes Dons in full. Until that day.
And are you going to take one there for everybody?
Yeah. The thing is, this goes back to in the Ramble WhatsApp group earlier this week. I was
my arm, Andy.
simply as shorthand.
Yeah.
And he threatened to throw me out the WhatsApp group.
No, I didn't. That was for all the fucking dick pics.
How dare you not want them, Andy? Anyway, this has been the second worst.
It's not because the file was too large.
Indeed. This has been the second worst start for a promoted trio to the Premier League. The worst was last season.
Are we seeing the start of a pattern?
Well,
no, because Man City are going to be relegated. So it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine, everybody. Don't worry about it. Look, I think Southampton, if you want to answer the question semi-seriously, Southampton have got a real problem on their hands. And the problem is...
they can't play.
Russell Martin seems to want to just carry on doing what they're doing. And I think there's an element of them when they were promoted, when they were in the Championship, from what I saw, where they could mix it up a bit. He doesn't seem to be mixing it up much at all at the moment. They have dropped off from being the team with the most possession in the Premier League, which you'd expect, because that's not going to happen forever. But if you look at the amount of possession they have, it's high. If you look at where they have it in dangerous areas, it's not really that high. If you look at them in terms of things like shots per game, it's not very high. Look at it for goals they actually score. Again, no one has scored fewer goals than them in the Premier League this season.
Are we missing a really obvious short-term fix here? The fact that they still own Paul Onuachu, that 6'7" striker who they loaned to Trabzonspor and scored a ton of goals in Turkey last season.
Get him back.
Yeah, I mean, surely, get him back.
Up
get
to
him
the big
in
man.
I mean, I take very little interest in the inner workings of that club, so I'll take your word for it on that, Andy. But they aren't scoring goals. I know it's early, but it's been a really, really kind of... it just feels like it's been really thin gruel. And if they want to get cracking, they are going to need to beat a team like Ipswich.
The thing is, it feels with Ipswich like there's a plan.
Yes.
And I think their transfer window is actually a really good one. I might have said this before, because the players they've bought, and you look at Jack Clark, Ali Al-Hamidi, who they got last season, Sami Smojic, and what they've got is a young team that can grow together, and I still think they've got a chance of staying up. But if they don't, they're going to have the best team in the Championship by a mile.
They've also got
what a consolation.
Well, no, but it is though. If they can, in terms of coming back up.
Yeah, if they've got, I think they've spent the money that they've got into the Premier League quite wisely to put themselves into that position of strength. Because you think Burnley did that in a slightly less gaudy way, a slightly less flash way, didn't they?
Also, what Ipswich have is Delap up front, and he's been a very exciting player. He's got a great goal against Fulham.
He's really good.
Nearly scored a peach against Brighton, didn't he, when he galloped down? And
that was amazing.
The fact is, when you have a guy up there who we're all excited to see, and he's obviously, well, not, if you like, newish to the Premier League. I know he was at Man City before, but he's starting games now, is what I mean. it gives the whole team confidence to think, we've got that gut front, we've got a chance. Whereas if, with, say, Southampton, you can't even get the ball up there, or they've not really got a huge goal-scoring threat in particular, and the ball keeps coming back into it, that can be quite demoralising.
Well, there's a couple of points I'd make. Ipswich did a double over Southampton last season. Right? So they beat them home and away. So it's not obviously going to be... and what's kind of really sets the Premier League apart is, of course, last season Southampton would have seen those two games against Ipswich and gone, these are two of the toughest games we're going to play this season. We lost both of them, and fair enough, we still got promoted. This is, on paper, probably the easiest game they're going to have this season. Right? That's the difference.
Which is even more important.
And I also sometimes feel like when managers, and Martin is definitely guilty of this, when they get into a philosophy where it's their philosophy and it's their MO, it's their fucking raison d'etre, and he's been in interviews when he's been at other clubs saying, I'm never going to deviate from this. This is how I think football should be played. I sometimes think...
Do you feel it's almost like an ego thing?
Maybe, and I also would love to just say, you know what, Man City, who are the archetype of this, Guardiola's a guy who's influenced football and coaching for more than anyone else. Look at the goal they scored against Brentford. Edison fucking lumped it to Haaland, and he galloped through and he scored.
There's a myth, isn't there, that there's only one plan with Guardiola. That just can't be the case.
He's got some lovely raw materials, though, hasn't he?
A
massive train with a snowplow on the front.
He doesn't.
Boot up to him.
Give it to De Bruyne.
I don't know if it is an ego thing. Is it like a branding thing? Really, to make yourself a recognisable brand, and I think that probably is quite important.
I would say that if it is that, Andy, then it's very, very close.
But
to
what I would say,
they're not. But Guardiola's City now. You'd have to be blind to not realise that Guardiola's City now are nowhere near what they were at Barcelona. When he was at Barcelona 15 years ago, they're not playing the same football Man City are playing now. It's totally different.
Yeah, totally. And Bayern changed him as well. Yeah, it took a
for possession's sake, it's one way of playing, right? And you have to adapt for different challenges.
Yeah, that's right. Although, obviously, taking it on... like the basis of company last season.
Martin's after the Bayern job.
Sticking slavishly. Maybe he's up for replacing Xavi Alonso at Leverkusen next season.
Maybe. We can't rule it out just because of what happened.
Could I just make a quick clarification as well, just before we move on? I did say that on paper, Southampton playing at home to Ipswich will be the easiest game they played this season when compared to last season. I momentarily forgot Everton are in the league. That's fine.
Now, Adam Lallana made his first start for Southampton in 10 years in their win over Everton in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday. He referred to himself apparently as the daddy of the group. Now, it definitely depends on the...
It's a bit Pardew-esque, isn't it?
It depends on the tone.
Adam got a beard at the moment.
Asking for a friend, asking for a friend.
Fucking do, isn't it?
I mean, did he shout it like Ray Winston? I'm the daddy of the group.
Did he have a snooker ball in a sock?
Yeah. Or was he like, I'm the daddy of the group?
Yeah, I think it's that one.
If the occasion calls for it. So it does depend. We need some clarity on that. But nice to see Adam Lallana back at Southampton, eh, Luke?
I like the idea that in the House of Commons, the father of the house, or the mother of the house, the oldest MP gets all these different kind of, not privileges per se, but a lot of recognition.
They get given Werther's Original all the time.
I'd love the most senior pro to have that in the Premier League.
What, a packet of Werther's Originals?
Special kit or something.
Okay.
Yeah, just to be like, they're the oldest player.
Yeah, he's a hip flask.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want Sir Edward Lee to bite me, though.
Yeah. Or a new hip, not just a hip flask, a new hip if
that's true. It goes on there. Well, of course, if there's unrest at St Mary's, which I don't think there is at the moment.
No, they don't care.
Very early days.
They do not care enough.
Then hopefully,
seen much worse.
Let's hope that the mascot won't take inspiration from Italy. Now, did you see this? The Cagliari mascot Pulli stood with the players while they received absolute pelters from the ultras following a 4-0 defeat to Napoli last week. You know that the Twitter handle, mascots doing minute silences.
Mascot minute silence.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Good.
Yeah, so it's a bit like that, but obviously it's much better because the players, it doesn't happen here really, but in some countries, and Italy being one of them, sometimes the players just kind of go, okay.
You need to get flagellated now.
The ultras have called us out. We're just lads. You're just going to have to take it on the chin for a minute, and they're all just stood there getting pelters. And the mascot, who's about 3 feet taller.
Yeah, I was going to say it is Catholic countries. It is Catholic.
Could be.
Yeah.
But Pulli just stood there, did he?
First of all, Pete, it's really important to say that Pulli is quite literally a flamingo.
Right. Okay.
So his neck is very prevalent.
He's genuinely about 9.
There's literally no hiding place.
I mean, you could punch that for days, couldn't you?
Would it make you more interested if I said he's not only a flamingo,
right,
but he's a flamingo who also happens to wear a baseball cap?
Oh, very John.
Yeah.
And he
stands out.
Steals bikes.
Yeah, he basically looks like Peter Crouch on the golf course.
Right. Okay. Nice. Yeah.
There you go.
Second mention for Crouchy today.
Lovely.
He's doing well.
I don't think he'll be happy with that. Yeah. So yeah, well done, Cagliari.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for this, guys.
Dean Smith also says you're an encyclopedia of football.
A what?
An encyclopedia of football.
I don't know what that means.
He doesn't know what that means. So last week on Jack's Encyclopedia, Marcus eased past Vish 2-0 to win the lineal title.
Yes!
Yeah.
But I've decided this is just an exhibition round.
No way. This is fully sanctioned by the Jack's Encyclopedia body.
Is that right?
Hey.
Board of Control.
And Luke is top of the tree at the moment. Top of the tree, top of the table, top of the league.
Means nothing if I don't have that belt.
It's your birthday as well, so I hope you get a win.
Hang about, it's your birthday today?
Yeah.
Actually, today?
Yes.
Oh,
Right now.
Oh, I wish I'd let you slag off Southampton for an extra 3 minutes.
I think you got enough.
I had my
Happy
fill.
birthday.
Thank you. I had my fill.
Yeah.
It's a simple game of categories.
Happy
Shall we
birthday,
get
thanks.
going, birthday boys and non-birthday people?
Yeah.
We're going to kick things off with Mr. Andy Brassel.
I don't even get to go first on my birthday.
Do you want to go first for your
No,
birthday?
it's fine. You
All
choose.
right,
You
yeah,
choose.
okay.
It's Andy's unbirthday.
True.
Right, so we're going to kick things off with you, Andy. The last 20 goalkeepers to play for England, they must
for
have
fuck's-
they must have at least one full England cap. I'm expecting some bings and
Do love a
bongs.
good game of Speller's Encyclopedia.
I feel like that as well.
The last 20 goalkeepers to play for England, Andy, if you will.
As my son used to call him when he was very small, Jordan Pickford.
He's in there.
I'll have Aaron Ramsdale.
You've got him.
Nick Pope.
Oh, nice one.
Nice. Should be in there more, in my opinion.
It's Torres.
Oh, early.
He made the noise.
Did I?
The headline has been written.
David James.
David James. Too early, surely.
No,
Oh,
he's
snuck
in there.
He
He's in
snuck
there.
in there.
He's
Well
in there.
done, mate.
Lovely stuff. Well done, Andy.
Joe Hart.
Joe Hart.
Yeah, well done. All right, now it's getting to quite thin,
Yeah, it's getting-
slim pickings,
Slim
isn't it?
Pickens.
So if David James is in there, stands to reason. Okay,
You see, this is the equivalent of a noise, isn't it?
I know.
I'll go. Alex McCarthy.
Oh, nice.
Well played.
Of all the
well played,
people.
well played.
Well done.
You see, I'm trying to filibuster without making the noise. How do I do that? I need new tactics.
He's made the noise. Don't make mouth noises, and I won't press the
Fucking
button.
haven't I?
The headline has been written.
No, I don't know.
Really? You were writing stuff down and you didn't have anything? I genuinely thought you were going to come in at the last minute and
It's
give
like,
us one.
you know that Paul Ince thing where he writes shoot on the piece of paper?
Just trying to pair
How
of
can
hands.
we forget?
Answer.
The goalkeeper stops the ball from the net. Marcus,
Jack Butland.
you're
Good
in
one.
there.
Good one.
Looky more.
Okay.
Okay then.
I know I'm going really off piste here, but it worked last time.
Go on, have a go.
John Ruddy. I think he had a cap
I think
for
he
England.
did. I think he did.
He did!
Ben Foster.
Ben Foster.
Who? Fucking hell.
Ben Foster.
Marcus has got loads of these in his locker, I can tell. Paul Robinson.
He's in there. He's
Rob
in
Green.
There. Rob Green. Lovely.
Dean Henderson.
Ah, you bastard.
Yes.
And I'm out.
Yes.
Who have we got?
So I went. So Marcus, if Marcus gets one, I've got to get one, right? Okay.
Yep.
Hit that fucking button. What are we doing here all day, are we?
Sorry, guys.
Chelsea are placed in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
David Seaman.
Marcus!
I thought it was too long ago.
That was
Keep
naughty.
us stick around, man. Keep us stick around.
Okay, I've got one left, and his name
right.
is Sam Johnston.
Yeah, well done.
He's in there. He's in there. Wow, Marcus. You got anything left in this goalkeeping well?
I can't think of his name. I can picture him. This is so frustrating.
Describe him.
Come on. This is so frustrating. Nigel Martin.
Oh, for fuck's
yes.
Was that the player you're thinking of?
No, it's
right. Okay, good. So you've got one in the locker. You can see what he looks like, but you don't know his name.
Wow, Nigel Martin.
Yeah.
Going back a long old way, this.
Yeah, they stick around, keepers. They stick around.
I had Nigel Martin in my brain earlier, and I thought, remove Nigel Martin from your brain. It's too long ago.
Stop thinking about Nigel Martin, everyone. For crying out loud. Looky moo.
Well, if we're going to go down that road, I'm going to go Dave Besson. Too far.
Too
Marcus
far.
gets a point. Well
Never
played.
mind.
There's
Well
always a
done,
tough one, that.
Well
Come on,
done,
put me out of my
Spelty.
misery. Former Liverpool, Derby County, West Brom.
Chris Kirkland?
No. I did have him, though.
Scott Carson, Tom
Scott
Heaton.
Carson.
Ian Walker.
Tom Heaton.
Fraser Forster.
How do you not have Tommy Heaton?
Yeah, I did.
Fraser Forster's got a cat.
Scott Carson was the one that was doing my head in.
Yeah. Sorry,
Good round, though.
Good round.
good
Good
round.
process,
Good round,
guys.
good
I mean,
round.
that's you got like 16. Wow. All right. Players with this is Marcus Speller kicking off with this one. Players with 5 or more Premier League hat tricks.
Oh.
Nice and easy, nice and simple. Who scored 5 or more Premier League hat tricks?
Erling Haaland. Glad I went first on that,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Lukey.
Let's go with surely Alan Shearer.
He has.
Robbie Fowler.
He has.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane has.
Andy Cole.
Give him the ball.
He did.
Oh, yes. It's a bit of a punt. Mo Salah.
Oh, Andy's out early again.
I like it though. I like
Yeah,
it though.
sure.
Yeah, it's good.
Sergio Aguero.
Got to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Dimi Berbatov has scored that many.
He has.
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry is in there. Hell of an achievement, really, when you think about it.
The king of the apple cores himself, Mickey Owen.
Michael Owen has got 5 or more Premier League hat tricks.
Mm-hmm.
The tit.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, so it's an opening for me.
Lucky.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you
Come
go.
on.
Big
God,
chance.
I
Big
don't
chance.
think I've got anything though.
The ball's bouncing around the 18-yard box.
Oh, Wayne Rooney.
Yes! The other one was-
Very
Done.
good.
Good stuff.
Fucking
All right.
skin in my teeth. I'm still in it.
Right. How many did we miss there?
You missed out on Ian Wright, Luis Suarez, Robin van Persie, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and Raheem Sterling as well. Just
Raheem
keeping up
Sterling.
with
Very
the
good on
scores.
him.
Salah has 4, and Ronaldo had 3. So there you go. All right, let's move on to the next round, and you're going to begin. The
birthday boy. Can he bring it home?
Can he bring it home?
It's one of those rounds.
The top 18 assist providers in Champions League history. The top 18 assist providers in Champions League history from the UEFA website.
Bloody hell.
So don't blame us, blame them.
I haven't got a fucking clue. I'll go for...
I'm going to give you a bit of space on this one.
Okay. I'm going to have a little punt and say Lionel Messi.
You got to, haven't you?
Yeah, surely.
Yeah.
Correct. He's in there.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
All right, and that's the end of the...
Thanks, lads.
They're the best two, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'll go for Karim Benzema.
He has.
Played a long time.
Good.
And most of them were for Ronaldo.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm thinking that I would have thought Zlatan's in there.
Ooh.
Oh, I like it. And he likes it.
Kaká.
Oh, good.
Oh,
It's got to be.
good.
He was
It's
brilliant.
good.
Well played, well played.
Come on, Marcus.
Thomas Muller.
Yeah, got to be.
Yes.
Great guess. Well done. The problem with saying this one, Andres Iniesta?
Oh, like it. Oh, you've opened the doors here.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Frank Ribery.
Oh,
Frank Ribery is in there.
Give Marcus a free fucking pass, Andy. Why don't you?
he played a bit deeper though.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a red herring? Is it a red herring? Does he want it or not? Does he want it?
Xavi.
Yes!
Well done, mate. Well done. Let's go see Raul.
Oh yeah, good one.
No, he's
good,
not in
but it's
there.
not the
Sorry,
one.
Luke, on your
Shit,
birthday. That's a real shame. That's a real shame.
Right,
Andy?
Andy.
Ian Robin.
Got to be.
Ian Robin. He's not in there either. Marcus Marcus
you
Speller.
just need one for the win.
For the win. FT Dubs.
Luka Modric.
Oh, nice.
Back in for one more round.
The drama.
A birthday treat for Lukey
The drama. The good news is,
Beautiful.
everyone, I've got absolutely fuck all.
I'm going to give you a bit of space here.
I should have been thinking when you were doing that, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got into extra time. 110 minutes.
Come on, let's have a bit of Gary Neville here.
Come on.
I'm giving it space.
It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final.
Andrea Pirlo.
Oh,
Very good.
Not good enough, unfortunately, Lukey. That's a real shame. And I understand why he went for that.
Yeah.
And I love you as a man.
I actually always thought he was overrated anyway. I don't know why.
Andy Brassel?
Samuel Eto'o.
right.
Marcus, bring it home.
I want to win this on a man we all love. David Beckham.
Fuck off.
So we've got to do the tiebreaker.
We've got to do the tiebreaker.
Me and Marcus have got to do the tiebreaker. He's only didn't get a point, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's good. Good point.
What are the rest of them?
Yeah.
Di Maria, Fabregas, Dani Alves. You're kicking yourselves.
Dani Alves.
Kevin De Bruyne.
De Bruyne, yeah.
Luis Suarez, Marcelo, Mesut Ozil,
I was thinking about classic players. I wasn't thinking about modern players.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Neymar, and give it Giggsy.
Give it Giggsy.
Give it Giggsy.
Do you have Giggs on there?
Well, I had question marks with Pedro, David Villa, Beckham and Giggs.
Okay.
And I thought, I want to win it with Becks.
Fair enough.
Bastard let me
So
down.
it's Marcus v me then?
Yeah.
What's the tiebreaker?
The tiebreaker is Chelsea's top 21 Premier League goal scorers.
Oh.
Chelsea's top 21 Premier League goal scorers as listed on Transfermarkt.
Okay, who's first?
We're going to kick things off with Marcus, if that's all right.
I'll have Frank Lampard.
Oh, what a surprise.
Sorry.
Have a bit of fun with it. Jesus. By which I mean give me Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
It's my birthday. I'm going to go for Didier Drogba.
This is Premier League, did you say?
That's what he said, yeah.
Premier League.
Premier League,
Premier Ooh. I shall have Diego Costa.
Got to be.
Yes. Yes.
Good one. A bit of a curveball this, but I'm going to go for it anyway. John Terry?
Surely.
Ooh.
I had Terry down.
Yes.
Hernan Crespo.
Did he get enough? Wasn't there that long.
No.
Top 21 and Hernan Crespo's not in there.
No,
He wasn't there long enough, was he?
Bloody hell.
No.
Oh, well, it's over to you, birthday boy.
No, that's the good news. Who's? I mean, I'd just go Raheem Sterling, I guess.
Let's have a little bit of Raheem.
No way.
Sterling is not in there, unfortunately. Marcus,
Eden Hazard.
Fucking
Eden Hazard's in there.
I can't believe you let me off with that.
Yeah, that is poor.
What have you got for us, Lucky Mo?
Eden Hazard's obvious. I'll tell you what I'll go for. Salomon Kalou.
You're going to go for Solomon Kalou. He's in there.
Lauren Malouda.
Back in,
Fuck
Marcus.
off. I hate it when he's so quick.
Right, is it right?
Malouda. He's in there.
Jeez.
Chelsea's top 21 Premier League goal scorers.
It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been...
I've got nothing. Shevchenko. I don't fucking know.
Oh,
No way. He's not in there.
No, sorry.
Marcus Speller wins.
Marcus. There we go.
come on.
Well played. Who could we have had? Who could we have had?
Jamie Floyd, Hasselbank,
Floyd Hasselbank.
Gianfranco Zola, Ida Goodjotson,
Sorry, Andre Flo.
Nicholas Anelka, William John Spencer, Blues Explosion, Gus Poyet, and Torre Andre Flo, Dennis Wise. You
I'll
could
tell
have
you
had
what, Peter.
Pedro Mason Mount, Joe Cole, Mark Hughes, and Marcus Alonso.
If you go for Florent Malou, if you go for Solomon Kalou over
Yeah.
Nicholas Anelka, you don't deserve to win.
It's a good point. It's a good point, actually.
So well played, Marcus.
Yeah.
But it is still your birthday. That's
Yeah.
nobody can take away
that's
your
it.
cake.
That's
I don't want
absolutely
to
it.
put Marcus on a bummer or a downer before the Palladium tonight. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's
Give me
the
the-
host.
mate.
He's going to tie it all together, isn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
And I didn't want to put us all on a downer by saying Ryan Giggs' name, so I went with David Beckham.
And Andy just didn't want to put a down on anyone.
No, we appreciate that, Andy. So well done to me.
Cheers for watching another fantastic clip from the Football Ramble podcast. Make sure you click like on this video and subscribe to the channel, which means you will not miss a single upload.